Okay, we're going to start with that right now, actually. And so for the first market update, today we're going to jump in and talk about several categories. One thing that I wanted to talk about is that new Winter Nexus event and what it's doing to some of the markets. So we are seeing a lot of encryptors tanking. Whoa. Actually, let me see here. If I learn to spell, we have various decryptors that are used in Invention, right? And so some of these are quite high volume, are billion ISK markets, and they're crashing, right? Because they are found in the data site. So this is a very, very good time to jump in and grab some of these, because this is a temporary oversupply for a very useful item. So if you are looking for things to invest, then go in here, check out some of these. Attainment and augmentation decryptors are popular items. You can see here they are several thousand. This is like a 5 billion ISK market. Parity also, symmetry. Again, if you don't know, if you have a hard time identifying what the largest items are, then you can always go to Atom for Eve and look at the margin finder and put in as a category decryptors, and then sort it by market volume, and then you can see which are the most popular ones. So to me, I absolutely jumped in on some of these. It will take a while to recover for sure, because people obviously will collect these up until September, or up until January 10th, I think the event goes, beginning of January for sure. So what you need to do is you need to just buy these, hold on to them, or you wait a little bit. If you don't want to risk it, you wait a little bit, see which direction they go, if they drop a little bit more, and then jump in sometime between now and then. The only downside of this is possibly investors like me buying up large parts of the market, but then you have to decide that for yourself. The agency boosters are very similar, right? So let's look at those threes, which are a big enough market to be interesting. These have dropped down quite a bit, so you can see that for the same reason. Event drops, and before that login rewards. So these boosters are very, very cheap, and as most of you know, they are very, very useful items. So in the end, this is not a problem of demand falling away. This is a problem of oversupply. So watch it a little bit, just like the data cores, or the data cores and the encryptors. Go in there, watch the market, and jump in there. I've already been buying up large parts of the market, but I'm combating this drop a little bit, but then there's enough for everyone to go around. I think it's just a question of capitalizing on the oversupply. What we also the same thing in data cores. Data cores also drop from the event data site. So if you look at things like the mechanical engineering or the electronic engineering, they have dropped. Some of them have already started rising again, but you can have a look at. You can all look at some of these items and see which ones will work for you. As I said, some of them will already have a lot of people on them. Some of them will have such an oversupply that they will still drop in price. Just check them out, keep an eye on them, and decide for yourself what type of risk you want to take. Something else to consider also is definitely the Sansha items. So this is a Sansha red event, right? If you haven't been in the event, if you type in Sansha in the search field, and you look at some of the equipment from the section called faction and storyline ship equipment, you can see that a lot of these very expensive sought after items have dropped in price. So whether it's a warp scrambler or a warp disruptor, you can see a lot of these dropping in price. Maybe have a look at. The best thing is always to be in the event and to see what's dropping and see how it's behaving. But even not being in the event, it's basically a no-brainer for this stuff to drop and for it to be a good investment. Not all of them have dropped. I don't know. I haven't done the research into. Which items have dropped and which ones haven't. I haven't done that for you. I've invested in some of them, so yeah, you can go and have a look. Certainly, as Techno is saying, some salvage goods should also be dropping because of this Sansha related salvage. One additional thing. Just one reminder: exclamation mark raffle if you want to still win that skin. Exclamation mark raffle for that exclusive scope syndication Astero skin if you're not in the raffle yet. We have 7 minutes left in that. And so not only Sansha items, but also right now what I'm seeing is possibly a turnaround on Moon Goo. So let's look at some of the Moon Goo items. So this doesn't have to mean something, but I'm just letting you know because I am jumping in on some of these markets. The reason I'm saying that is because we saw a little bit of a resource distribution patch, right? Nothing major last week. We talked about that, but still, we are seeing a turnaround on a lot of these Moon Goo markets. So whether it's cadmium right here, some like you see on a lot of these, you're seeing a little uptick. They all kind of like the last 3 or 4 days have ticked up a little bit. And so I've opened positions on a lot of them. Might be a good time because they have been dropping for a long time, and especially going into Q1 for hopefully a relaxation of the scarcity phase. Maybe that's a good time to enter the market. Right now, everyone is mining Moon materials. It feels like, and so what we are hoping for is that stopping the scarcity phase on a lot of the ores stopping, and that therefore driving up prices on some of this Moon Goo. What this does is, as a follow-on effect, is it drops the price on a bunch of the tier 2 ships, right? So if we're looking at something like the Guardian has dropped in price a lot, and a lot of these tier 2 ships just rely on some of these input materials dropping in price. So you're seeing it on the Guardian, on the Ishtar, whatever, any tier 2 ships you're seeing dropping. On the Ishtar, it's possibly also because of the of the drone changes that came and went, but that might be might be a good time to jump in that. As long as raw material prices are down, these tier 2 ships are going to be cheap, and that's going to change once prices come back up, right? Also, the last thing I want to talk about is Abyssal materials. What we've seen on Abyssal materials, not so much on 0 point condensate. It's still up, but especially crystalline isogen. See here, crystalline isogen 10. A lot of times, you know, we over the last month we've seen this come up and back down again. So a lot of this this up and down has been quite cyclical and has been with a fairly clear bottom, and the bottom's always been around 40k, and now it hit 40k again, and so I think there's a good chance that it will come back up. So investing in crystalline isogen 10 right now might be also a very good idea. Right. So that's it for the first ever market update. That is basically the style that we're gonna do it with. I'm gonna prepare that for every week, and maybe twice a week, maybe every stream. I don't know. I'll just see how much it makes sense. But I'm gonna take those 10-15 minutes. I don't know how long it was, maybe 10 minutes, and put that out on YouTube as a weekly update for people to see, and probably also to the podcast